Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. And today, I'm going to be ranking most of the FNAF games, technically, in this ranking, I'm not going to count the games FNAF World and Help Wanted 2. Help Wanted 2 is just because I haven't played it. I don't own a VR headset, so I'm just not gonna rank it, okay? So, I'm just gonna dive right in. So starting at the bottom tier, like trash, is Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. This game is it's literally, it shouldn't have been made if they knew it was gonna come out like this. There were so many like trailers like hyping it up. It looked awesome, and it looked rough in the trailers, but we were like, yeah, it's gonna look good when it releases, right? No, it literally looked the exact same when it came out. It was really disappointing. I own it physically, and I played it on my brother's Xbox Series X, and it worked fine. It still crashed way too often. And then after I got all 6 endings on his console, I wanted to replay it on my Xbox One S, and it was borderline unplayable. I'm not even joking. It was borderline unplayable. It was stuttering. Whenever you started to sprint, it would go down to like 20 frames, and then it would try to pick itself back up after that. And some of the textures were really they looked really smooth. Like it looked like it was just pasted on there. And it's really bad. It crashes. It's almost unplayable on certain consoles. If you like FNAF and you have to play the whole series, go ahead. You can beat it, but other than that, it's not worth playing in my opinion. And that's why it's at the bottom of my list. And then coming in at the runner-up of bottom spot is Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. This may be a hot take to some people, but I don't think it's very good. Specifically, how usually in FNAF games, it's all random. It's all randomized. In this game, it's all the same every single time you play it. So there's no replay value at all. Like, if you played sister location, you know that at the end of night 1, where you're crawling through the vent as you're leaving, and then you hear this banging that's in the vent behind you, and it's supposed to scare you into running. And you'd think if this was a FNAF game that if you stood there in the vent you would die. No, you literally don't die. It just keeps banging and banging and banging, and it just won't. It's just meant to scare you. It doesn't kill you at all, which kind of sucks. And also, sister location is known for its infamously hard night 4, where you're in the spring lock suit. You have to wind up the spring lock so you don't die, and then while it's happening, Minorinas climb in your suit, and you have to shake them off, but then that makes the spring lock strip faster. It's really dumb. It was so hard to where in the first couple days or even couple weeks of its first release, they literally had to put a patch out for it because it was just way too hard, and it's still almost impossible. And not even just in the lore, it's the most throws a wrench into everything, because it's supposed to be a prequel to everything, but it doesn't make sense why they're super the animatronics are super futuristic looking compared to it being in the timeline supposedly before the first game, which they don't look super futuristic in the first game. Overall, it's just it's not a good game. I don't think it's that good of a game, to be honest. And also, lore-wise, it just tries to destroy everything. That's why it's runner-up a bottom on my list. And coming up next is Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Yep, you heard me. Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the 4th game, regarded as one of the scariest in the series. I don't know why, but I don't like this game. I cannot have fun time. First of all, it's because I'm kind of I kind of just got a little too scared. Yeah, I'm a baby, but the thing is that first of all, it is kind of too hard for me. I literally can't even beat it. I just die way too much. And like the breathing sounds and stuff, you barely hear it. It's so easy to miss. And like the lore wise, it's fine. It's actually really cool. But it's probably in that okay spot. Yeah, probably it's definitely like the middle spot. Don't have much more to say on it. It's pretty good. After like Sister Location, it definitely has a big jump up for me, and that's why it's here on my list. And then next would be FNAF 2. FNAF 2, again, feels like a hot take in my opinion, maybe, but FNAF 2, my favorite FNAF game is one that's not too hard, but also like not like easy. Like I want it to be like feel like it's beatable, probably like still scary, but like not FNAF 4 types where I literally just can't do it. But FNAF 2 falls into the category to where it falls into the category of it being too hard. Like the multitasking is crazy. It's crazy. Like it's actually insane how much you have to do in this game. Like you have to watch the vents, flash your light down the hall, wind up the music box, watch all the animatronics, all that. There's like 12 animatronics in all, and it's just a little too much for me at least. I forgot to put this at the beginning of the video, but this is my list, my personal opinion. It's not the objectively best list. Just gonna say that. But FNAF 2, it's pretty good. It's not that great to me, at least, and that's probably why it's lower on my list. And then at sort of the halfway point, we have Finds Phrase Ultimate Custom Night. Same reason as the second game. It's too much multitasking, but to a way higher degree than FNAF 2. Depends. It does depend on how many animatronics you turn on. This is kind of like a black sheep of the franchise, in my opinion, to where like it's kind of weird. It's kind of like it kind of came out randomly after Pizzeria Simulator. It's really random, and you just turn on like how many animatronics you want to survive against, and that's it. You play a night with the animatronics you turn on. It's very simple on the outside, but very, very complex on the inside. Like I'm not even gonna list how many things you can do or you have to do depending on how many animatronics you have turned on, but it's a weird game. It's a weird game. It's fine. It's kind of fine, and that's why it's the fine part of my list. Then now these next 4 games here are ones that I consider like some of the best in the franchise. So first up is Finds Phrase Pizzeria Simulator. This game is very, very good. It is very good. I really like this game. I think it is the scariest in the franchise, and I like it more than the others because it does something unique while also keeping the main parts of what makes FNAF. Like, you still have the night guard duty to where you're just stuck, you can't move around, you're still watching like more or less cameras, and you're basically trying to prevent the animatronics from getting your office. But it also has the unique things of a management game, so you have to manage your restaurant while also like buying items that don't kill people, which I think is really funny. And then the salvaging, which in my personal opinion is probably the scariest part of this game. It's either that or the ventilation. But I don't want to like dwell on this game too much because you definitely should like play it if you haven't already. It's like, I don't want to spoil anything because definitely lore wise it does close a chapter in the series, and probably like it's just like really good, and that's why it's here on my list. And then next up, this might be a hot take, is FNAF. Defines phrase, the original, the first one from August 8th of 2014. Why do I remember this? But this game made I don't think it'd be over exaggerating to call this it just made a genre in of itself. This, not survival horror, but this type of game that a lot of people make nowadays. This game started all of that. It also made a lot of YouTubers popular, which is also really cool. It spawned the whole fan base who make these really good fan games. And maybe it hasn't aged the best. I know its gifts, I think it's charming in its own way. I think it's charming in its own way. I think it's still scary. I think the animatronics look fine. I know they're pictures, but they look fine. But I think it definitely has the most, I would say, atmosphere, maybe. I think it's hard to explain. I really like this franchise. I basically grew up with this franchise. And this was actually the first one I played, was the original, ironically. But I think it definitely deserves the third spot in this list. But these next two games I just think are just better. And coming in, runner-up of the best FNAF game is Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted. This game is probably, I would put it into words like this, where this one is the objectively best one, while this number one spot is my personal favorite. That's actually a perfect way to put it. But FNAF Help Wanted is literally, you don't even have to say that much. It's the first 4 games just remade into 3D, while also having other mini games and also continuing the story. Now, granted, I think after FNAF 7, Ultimate Custom Night, I think the story kind of fell off a little bit, but that's just my opinion. But the game's fun. I don't know if it's just me or the console version sometimes just kind of crashes on you for some reason. That might just be me on my Switch I own it on. But honestly, what more is there to say? It's so good. It's objectively the best one. It's fun. It's scary. It's charming. The story's kind of. But that's probably why I'd be second place on my list. And now, the top spot, in my opinion, the game I think is my favorite FNAF game in the franchise, Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Sit on that for a minute. You know that one game that people don't really like? That's FNAF 3. FNAF 3, I hear it's mixed things, that I hear people say it's too easy, or it kind of just wasn't that fun. But I completely disagree. I think this game is a lot of fun. And it's not the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, sure, it is easier. You only deal with one animatronic, but don't let that fool you. He gets faster and faster each night, where on night 5, you literally have to be so fast to catch him on a camera. He will speed towards you if you don't do anything. And lore-wise, it's also my favorite. It has the 8-bit spring lock scene that I think is one of the best scenes in FNAF history. I think it's so cool. But I really think that's probably I don't understand the hate on this game. I think Springtrap's awesome. I think the Phantom animatronics was a cool idea. I think the maintenance panel could have been done better, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. And then it started the vent camera system, which I also really like. I think the audio distractions are really cool. lore-wise really good, and that's honestly, like, it's just so good. It's just so good, in my opinion. I think it's the best FNAF game, and that's why it'd be number 1 on my list. And that is the end of the video, guys. I thank you all for watching. What is your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's game? Or literally, you can comment anything, I don't really care. But don't forget to like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.